guys, it's PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor, and I hope that you've had a great day. Now, this one is called Be Intentional in Your Life. My first point, because I like to bring three to you. There is someone or some you are called to influence. Now, understand that everybody don't want to hear your message. Everybody don't like you. I know that's harsh. I know that's not what you wanted me to say. But, there are just some that we're just going to rub the wrong way. But that's okay because we're not called to everybody. Those people that are called to hear you, that I'm just even going to say this, like the sound of your voice, because I know for me, it really is in the sound of people's voices. Now, if the pitch is too high or too squealy or too squeaky, count me out. I can't listen to that long term. So it could just be as simple as the tone of your voice that somebody don't like. Well, you know what? It could just be how you present your message. It could just be they don't really want to hear you, okay? But those ones that you are called to will gravitate to you. They would want to be a part of your community, your tribe. They want to be in your presence. Why? Because they can hear your word. They're going to take your advice. They're going to live their life productively listening to your words. So always remember to be positive and not negative. Always use your superpowers for the good and not evil, right? Calculate the risks and decide if pursuing is necessary. In life, because you are called to influence, there will be times and situations where you really got to calculate if doing this thing will put you in a positive or negative light. Because when you have that responsibility of influencing somebody else, you've really got to look at your life and the decisions that you make. And if it's good or positive, I don't know if you're creating a brand, but I am creating a brand. So I have to really look at whether it's good for my brand and whether it's good for business and whether it's good for the people that I'm called to. Because, this is not just a single solitary act. When you decide to lead and to encourage and to motivate, you got to have followers. Because otherwise, you're just kind of talking to yourself, right? And though it might be good information, the point is to benefit and help other people, okay? Point number 3, take time to get quiet in your spirit. Preparing yourself to hear from God as you move through the different seasons of life. Now, I'm at a season where I'm really having to try to get quiet and silence all the stuff that plays on in my head and has driven my heart for my whole life, right? Because a lot of it I need to, throw away. A lot of it won't serve me well going into the next season. So I have to really get quiet and ask God, what is it that you want me to hear? What is it that you want me to learn? And as I walk through these different lessons and challenges, and I really look at myself, and some of it's not pretty, y'all. Some of it's really ugly stuff. As I look at that, I have to figure out what can be useful and what can be thrown away, and how that won't help me moving forward. Because you know what, being sensitive and being afraid of criticism and being afraid of when somebody walks away, that won't serve me well trying to build globally, okay? Because there will be times and situations and people that will walk away, but I've got to be big enough and strong enough and confident enough to walk through those times and be able to just let it fall to the wayside and keep doing business, keep moving forward, keep building communities, keep being consistent. Because you know what, in order to influence globally, you have to be consistent. I have to stay on point. I can't get thrown off, by things that come up against me or people that challenge me. It's just not going to serve what purpose God has for me, right? Okay, so my first scripture is 1 Samuel 10:7, and it reads, "And it shall be when these signs come to you, Do for yourself what the occasion requires, for God is with you. When there is a time for you to step up and to get into position, understand that God is with you. He walks with you. He knew you're in from your beginning. He knew the season that you're in. He knows your name. He knew the time to call you forth, because God does keep us in hiding, I believe, until it is that right time. So what you have to do in the hiding time, in the quiet time, and when don't nobody know you time, is to create. That's your part. Like, I have to create content until, that time when I am on the scene. And then when I am, it'll be all that stuff out there that people need to hear, that they need to, that I will need to create what God saw before I could even see it. Because in my mind, I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know how it's going to work for my good. I don't know, what doors to open or what doors will be closed. I mean, I don't know. So, but God does. So what I have to do is be prepared, right? Okay, so what served you in the past more than likely will not stand with you moving forward. That's so hard, right? because I could get angry over here once upon a time, you know what I'm saying, when I wanted to stay small and unseen and unheard, it's not going to serve me as I, walk on bigger stages and bigger platforms. I have to be able, like I've been saying, to see the opportunity, to walk in the opportunity with confidence, with understanding of what my purpose is, what God would have me do at this moment, and really just submit to that. Not fear, not intimidation, not, I don't know why I'm here, or how is this going to play out. No, when you step on that scene, you've got to be ready. You've got to be, you got to open your mouth, you got to speak, you got to communicate, and you've got to be that influencer that your people need. Doing you where emotions rule, which we know that's a no longer serve you if you want to be heard by others. You can't be driven by emotions. Now, I know it it may not seem like it all the time, but I'm emotionally driven. I just kind of keep it in its proper place sometimes. Now, my emotion of anger sometimes will spill out, or my frustration will spill out. But being a crier, or a, somebody that needs you to pat them on the back or encourage me to get something done, no, I don't need all of that, right? But those emotions, whether it's anger, whether it's fear, won't serve me when it's time to step up and open my mouth, because God is saying right now, right? So if I hear him and I know that he's with me, then I'll be able to let those emotions subside. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Don't always go with your guns, ready to fire. Don't always go with an attitude, or like you're being disrespected, or you're not being heard. Look at the situation. Figure it out first, and then decide what needs to happen, right? Because you prepared yourself mentally before going in there. What did we say earlier? We spend that time with God. We bring it down. We get quiet. We understand where he wants us to walk, how he wants us to say it. And we've taken care of all those things in the past that would disturb us now, right? That stuff that was used to drive you just does not look cute on you growing and moving forward. That's stuff that, like I keep saying, I'm just going over the same point. That stuff that you could use on that nobody knows you scale. I don't know where you're trying to go to, but if you're trying to hit higher heights and you're trying to be the woman or the man that God sees you to be in that purpose on that platform, that old stuff is not cute anymore. No, nobody's going to respect you. Nobody's going to hear you. You've got to be able to speak clearly, to get your emotions in check. And in moments where you feel like, you're getting heated, because we can feel that, have a quick calm down. You got to be able to calm down, because everybody's not going to agree with you, and there will be some challenges to what your truth is. Who do you think you are, and why should I listen to you? There will be some challenges to that. And so you just got to prepare yourself to be wise enough, to be in control enough, to do business, to influence, to help, because that's what we're called to do. That's what our purpose are. To bring people to Christ, to bring people to see the love of God, to live successfully, to have more power and more influence in their own lives, right? Obligation comes in when you get something for nothing. Know your value. God says to think highly of yourself and not compromise. Don't just be giving yourself out here for free. Don't devalue what you bring to the table. If God places value on you, which he places value on all of us, whether you hear him, whether you use it, whether you stand on it, that's your choice. The fact of the matter is, Christ died on that cross for you. And that says to you that you were worth it and that you were valuable. He didn't just die for me. He didn't just die for people that are in my family or my friends. He died for everybody. So everybody comes to him on that same plane, on that same level. He is not a respecter of persons. You just got to know your worth, your value, and how God sees you. And don't compromise. You've got to get to that position in life that says, you know what? I've been doing all this wrong back here in the past, but now I'm going to step up because I want to have a bigger influence. Because God ain't going to put you out there to make you look like no fool. He just ain't going to do it, right? Now, you can try to force the hand and you can try to step out there when you're not ready, but I wouldn't advise him. Not if you plan on doing long term and you really want to have a voice in this world. I wouldn't advise that. Okay, so my second scripture is James 4:17, and it reads, "Therefore, to one who knows the right thing to do and does not do it, to him is a sin." If you know when something is right or wrong and you choose to do the wrong thing, you're going to be judged harshly for that, because God understands that you know better than that. So why continue to put yourself out here to look crazy, to try to get people's sympathy, to say, well, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. Yeah, you did. You knew that the word clearly says that. When God convicts you of something, when he spoke to you about something, you know. And you know right from wrong. Now, if he hadn't spoke to me about it, then I can't, that don't apply to me. But if, let's just say, God has been talking to me about gossiping and I'm still out here gospeling, and then that thing rolls back on me because we understand that karma is real, then what can I do? You know what I'm saying? But just, take the lumps that I've been given because I knew better. God's been working with me over here all this time, and I'm still going to jump out here and just do what he tells me not to do. I'm just going to be obedient, disobedient, excuse me. Then yes, I'm going to suffer the consequences for that one. Preparation for the next level means no time to waste time. Who hates their time who hates to be a time suck? Or who hates to have their time wasted? This girl right here. I just can't stand that. Whether it's conversation, whether it's some action that's not moving me forward, whether it's you just complaining to me when we've already had a conversation and you don't want to do nothing about it. I'm not the go-to girl for that, right? And so we have to be mindful of not only having our time wasted, but to waste somebody else's time. nobody wants to give you advice. Nobody wants to try to influence you or take you to the next level. And you keep saying, yeah, but nobody wants to be bogged down with that. Nobody wants to be bothered with you on that level, because why? Why can't you hear? Why can't you do? What is keeping you from moving to the next level? That's where that getting quiet and really listening to God, putting that hard stuff out there that you don't even want to know about yourself, just putting it out there and saying, God, this is what it is, and I know you already know. But can you help me work through this, because it's driving me. It's literally driving me, and I know it's driving everybody else. So just help me with it. Do not take what you hear and do nothing with it. Confess guilty. I'm sorry. I'm confessing because I'm guilty over here, because I do a lot of that. I take in a lot of information about a lot of books. I download a lot of stuff, and you know what? I'll do nothing with it. And then I'm wondering why I'm not moving forward in a timely manner. I'm wondering why I'm still struggling in this area, in that area. Why? Because I'm gaining a whole bunch of knowledge, a whole bunch of wisdom. Because I think the people that I listen to and read about, they're wise. But I don't do anything with it. I don't force my own hand. I don't make my own self accountable. And so that's what I'm telling you to do. Make your own self accountable. Because if you're not going to use it, then just don't even make it a priority for yourself. Don't even bother with it, right? Are you noticing you are different as the seasons change? And if so, and if not, then why not? Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, why am I keep still going over this same hill in the same valley? Wasn't I here last year at the same time? And was I doing the same thing? And if that be the case, then you've got to really figure out why. And I'm talking about myself as well, because I know I should be a lot further than where I am today. And it drives me. It literally drives me. But it can drive me all day if I choose not to do anything with it. So my advice would be, get consistent. Decide what you want to do, what you are called to do, what your purpose is. And one day, one step, one action plan at a time, make that thing happen for yourself. Everything don't happen overnight, but it can come in a timely manner if you put the time in, because God's not going to do everything. He will do his part, but he's requiring you to do yours, right? My final scripture is Jeremiah 1:5, and it reads, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you. I have appointed you a prophet to the nations." God, right there. God already told you that's your purpose. He has called you to the nations. He's called you to be an influencer, whatever that looks like to you. Of course, you know, for me, I'm an author and a speaker. And so that's how he's called me. That's where I'm gifted, because those things are easy for me, right? Yours might be singing. It could be acting or whatever. You know, it could just be being a mom or being a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever you're called to, do it, because that's who he said you were before you were even on this earth. And when you were created in your mother's womb, he knew you. He knew your purpose. He knew the plan for you. He knew your end from your beginning, right? And right now, your job is, until you find yourself on that big screen, until you are on go, whatever that is, and maybe just that simple day-by-day process. Do it to the best of your ability and do it unto God, because he knows when that time will be, when that, oh my gosh, when the doors will fly open for you, right? You must value your talent and allow yourself to be used, so you won't lose what God has given to you to bring to others to make him known, because this is truly about God and making disciples in the gifts and the talent that he's given you to use. He's not asking you to be a singer if that's not the gift he gave you. He's not asking that of me. I mean, I'm not saying I can't hold a tune, but he's not asking me to. That's not my gifting. That's not my calling. I don't even try to flow in that lane. No. So just ultimately understand what he's called you to do, and do that. Do that thing, right? Okay, so my personal alert story, God has blessed me with Young Living essential oils, and today I'm going to be talking about peppermint. Now, this is one of my daily, I use it every single day generally. And what does peppermint do? Peppermint purifies and stimulates the mind. It helps with attention and performance and focus. It helps with your appetite and your digestive system. That's generally a lot what I use it for. I also use it a lot for pain relief, because for me it's better to just use an oil than popping a pill. So I hope that that's beneficial. And if you want to know more about oils, because that is another one of the things that God is using to help me first and foremost. That's why I started on my journey, because I wanted a more natural way of living, breathing, and taking control of my health. So if that is one of the things that you would like to have for your own life, let me know. And we can definitely get you started on your own journey. Hey guys, this is PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor. And as always, 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 I want you to what? Be blessed. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.